So my name's Amber Kelly. I'm the People and Culture Director at Post Office. So what do I do? Lots. So I look after engagement, I look after diversity and inclusion, learning and development, talent, and the wider, broader piece around culture development for the business. Definitely. I mean, in the early days, I spoke to some leaders in the business who said it wasn't obvious as a, you know, from the outside looking in, that we were a business that supported diversity and inclusion. And even though we weren't telling people. Yeah. So firstly, it was actually really raising the profile. So a lot of our networks actually established and created lots of collateral. So you'll see that I'm wearing this lanyard. Yeah. That represents our PRISM group, and they created that. We've got a badge for BU, that's our Disability Confident group. Right, okay. So we've got lots of representation. We've got notebooks for our women's group, you know, so we've got lots and lots of different things that represent our different groups. And it's just grown. Our BAME group that have just rebranded themselves POEM, which is Post Office Ethnic Minorities, they've just got a badge as well. So, you know, we want to be visible, we want to make sure people outside know that we're absolutely supportive of diversity and inclusion. And it's not just we're diverse, we're inclusive, we're truly inclusive as a business. And we want people to bring their whole self to work. Yeah. That's really important to us.
So my name's Lauren Gallagher, and I look after diversity and inclusion at Post Office. I think that's a really good point. I think that we've had a lot of people in the business that kind of say, well, you know, I don't identify with this group, for example, so therefore I can't really be part of it. There's nothing I can do to kind of help or support. And actually for us, a lot of our diversity networks rely heavily on allies. So, you know, for example, our LGBT network, you don't necessarily have to be from the LGBT community to be part of the network, and actually allies make up, I think, probably 50% of the people that are part of the network. So they're just people who really understand and appreciate the fact that we're all kind of working to create more equal opportunities, more diverse environments and inclusive workplaces for everyone.
So my name is Ben Fote. I'm the legal director of the Post Office. So a few years ago, I've been at the Post Office for 3 years now. When I moved across from my previous employer, I saw a real gap and I guess an opportunity here. Post Office is an amazing company. It's been operating for over 370 years. And the most impressive thing about the Post Office is that we represent all communities. And one of those communities is the LGBT community. So I wanted to make sure that all members of staff, but also our customers that may come into a post office, are represented. And for that reason, myself, together with a number of other people, founded our first LGBT diversity and inclusion group, which is now called PRISM. I think it's really important that senior role models do become visible. That's why I made sure when I founded the group to encourage all people across the organisation that they are in a safe space. And a way to ensure that that happens is that when people are in senior roles, that they are visible leaders. So for me to be a visible LGBT leader is important, so that no matter where you are in the business and at what level, you know that there are people like-minded that are ensuring that there's a safe system so that you can be your true selves at work.
My name is Farida Iqbal, and I am a contracts advisor in the agency network. I guess sort of was primarily involved in starting up the BAME network, which is what it was called then. Right. It started off. So BAME stands for Black, Asian and Minority Ethnic. So it was basically a network group to help people to sort of feel included, and also to be able to share their experiences and also share their struggles and and the sort of barriers that they may have experienced or may currently see for themselves in terms of progressing at work. Initially, it was a bit of, it felt like like an old car, really. It sort of stop and start, and trying to get that momentum going. I think the key part was really raising the awareness around what it is, and also finding the people within the business who had that same level of passion and interest, and felt that it was relevant to them to actually then take active involvement in the group. I'm pleased to say that we do have a number of people who are involved now. There's at least about 10 to 12 people who are actively involved. And as a result of the discussions that we've had and various things that we've done, we have actually just last week relaunched with a new name.
Okay.
And the mission statement we have sort of refined slightly as well. So our new name is POEM, which stands for Post Office Ethnic Minorities, because they really wanted something that was personal to us.
Yeah.
Ben Spencer-White is my name. I'm a project manager, and I'm lucky enough to be working on the Culture Change project here at the Post Office. So Lauren does a really good job as our diversity and inclusion manager, and she has she's conducted or made these diversity and inclusion days. So twice a year we set aside a big meeting room, like a 80-person meeting room, and just have guest speakers come in. We challenge ourselves. We challenge our thoughts, I should say. So, for example, not the last one, the one before, we had some people in, and we did a talk. Let's talk about race, and it's what words are okay to say and what's not okay to say, and it was a ask any question you want type session.
Yeah.
We're having those with one of those with a trans person in the next 6 months, just because we're always learning, and there's always questions that you want to ask that you might be too embarrassed to ask, and we're giving people permission to ask those